applied, force to the second block here. 4 Newton applied. I'm just asking you, find the acceleration of the blocks and the friction acting at all surfaces. And first, directly straight away, first let's calculate F1L. What is F1L? Mu m1g. Directly I'm writing it to save time. Mu is 0.1, 2 into 10, 2 Newton. What is F2L? Mu into m1 plus m2 into g. See, I think I thought everyone is very familiar with Ester's concept. Then I started this. I wanted to go to Pathfinder. But the way you are asking doubt, I'm a little bit, I'm scared to take you to the higher level problems. Still some clarity is not there. F2L is equal to how much? 5 Newton. So these are the values which we needed. No problem. I'll try my level best to impart simplified approach. As we do 2-3 problems, you'll get that core idea. Don't bother. Don't get scared. You trust your teacher. Definitely what happened. By the end of this 2-3 problems, now you feel very comfortable. Any problem asked, you can manage. Okay, I applied 4 Newton. Tell me like what we are going to assume first. What is the best way of assuming? That slipping occurs at all surface, shall I assume? No slipping occurs at all surface, shall I assume? I'll give opportunity. You can suggest me the idea. Anybody is free to talk now. What is the best way of assuming things? No slipping occurs at all surface. Then we'll calculate acceleration of blocks. We'll calculate friction acting, static friction at all surfaces. We'll check that static friction is greater than limiting friction. If that were happened, then what we assumed is right. If the static frictions at surfaces, what we assumed there will calculate. If any one surface or at both the surface, if they were greater than limiting friction, then what happened? The assumption what we did is wrong. Are you getting the idea now? So what we have to, what is the question? Find acceleration of blocks. No, how to get the direction of friction? The friction here will be, we'll assume F1. Here will be F1. This will be F2. This will be F2. Okay, fine. So now let's assume that no slipping occurs at all surfaces. That's one assumption I'll make it. Sir, why you are assuming? Say I have to start problem, no? Always let's better to start no slipping occurs at all surface. So let's assume, I'm not sure whether I'm right or wrong, but I'm going to cross check it. Let's assume no slipping occurs at all surface. This surface is smoother, ground. No slipping occurs between the blocks. Now, what is the total acceleration of the system? What is the net force acting on system? F by m1 plus m2 plus m3. F is how much? 4. This will be 2, 3 plus 4. This will be 3, 9, 4 by 9 meter per second square. No problem. Just keep it here. No. Let's assume. I think I'm means the teacher himself is not sure that actually slipping occurs or not. But I'm going to just carry on. I'll verify things whether what I assumed is right or wrong. Got it? No. No. Let's directly come for F1. What is the permitted value of F1? 2 Newton. So who will accelerate the block? Who will accelerate the upper block? The friction only. So therefore, what shall I write? F1 equal to m1 into A. Now what is value of m1? This is 4 by 9. 8 by 9 Newton. Can you say anything about this? Less than F1L, no? It is in fact less than F1L. So slipping occurs at 1, 2. No slipping occurs. So what I assume that no slipping occurs at blocks at 1, 2, no slipping occurs is what I'm correct. So what is the conclusion I should make it? Therefore, no slipping occurs at M1 and M2. Got it, no? So because of this, I'm writing that one. Let's check for again F2. We'll accelerate the block M3, the frictional force only. So therefore here F2 equal to M3 into A. What is the value of M3? 4. Acceleration 4 by 9. This is how much? 16 by 9. 16 by 9 definitely is what? Less than F2L. How much you'll get? This will be around 1 point, no? So what is the conclusion now? Therefore, here also. No slipping occurs at M2 and M3. I think two of you, Anish and Ramachandra Reddy, both of you asked doubt. Okay, now look at the friction acting, static or kinetic? This F1, F2 are static or kinetic?
Static.
F1 and F2 are static. I'm really, it's my duty to really clarify the doubt, because you didn't got it. I will make you that one. F1, F2 are static. Tell me, like, M1, M3 are rest or in motion?
Motion.
Motion. So friction acting is static. So will you justify that static friction acting block should be at rest?
No, sir. Actually, relative motion is observed when it is static friction. But we have doubt that static friction's nature is it adjusts itself equals to
Fine. Yeah, here also I'll make it 3 Newton. The static friction again F2 will adjust itself to some other value. But block M3 will be at rest. I think totally wrong concept. Am I right? It's a static friction. It will adjust itself. See, block will be all blocks are accelerating as you vary applied force. What will happen to this F1, F2 should vary. And the blocks open will be there. As long as there's no slipping, as the friction acting will be static, and as you vary applied force, F1, F2 also will vary. Got the point? No? I think I explained it very systematically. Any doubt you can clarify further. That's really what they asked was a very good doubt, so that it will benefit total class. I just took a problem to clarify that particular doubt itself, this question. Anybody doubt, you can clarify it. So what is the thing now? What we have to conclude here? So what is the conclusion? Right conclusion, so that it will be easy for you. What you was conclusion? All blocks move with same acceleration, that is a relative 0, and the friction is static. Is that okay now? Still anybody having doubt, you please clarify, so that I'll move to the next problem. Anybody having doubt?
No, sir.
Fine. Okay, now we will do one thing. 4 Newton I gave it, no? Let me give, this is 18 Newton. The same problem, because y2 again, so the same situation. Let me apply a force of 18 Newton. Then we'll see that. Somehow what happened, you have to understand that core idea. So once you get that clarity, no, I think you can manage very comfortably here.
yes, sir. Got, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Now I'll give really very good tricky situation. Let's see that how you analyze. See, please clarify the misconceptions. I'll not let it be. If I want, I'll take class in the evening. If I want, tomorrow we have one more class. If that is not possible, will take extra time, will clarify it. So it's your right to clarify doubt. But don't ask which is not related to syllabus, because I don't know much about other things other than physics, because I confine myself to physics. No, now the same values, the same values: m1 2 kg, m2 3 kg. The mu is 0.1 and this is smooth. Find acceleration of blocks and the friction at all surfaces. Find acceleration of blocks and friction at all surfaces. How the friction? As usual, again the friction will be like this: F2, F2, this F1. No, what are the limiting values of friction? The same data: F1L 2 Newton, F2L 5 Newton. All of you, please do attempt. This was the what we have calculated, not given. Looking at this one, there's the information. Now again, how you are going to start the problem? We just assume that there's no slipping at all surfaces. The friction acting is static. Then we'll calculate the static friction. We'll compare with F1L. Less than F1L, what you assumed is right. Greater than F1L, what you assumed is wrong. So let A be the acceleration of the blocks. And then what is the acceleration is equal to? Net force by, because this F1, F2 will become internal. M1 plus M2 plus M3. 18, 2 plus 4 plus 3. 2 meter per second square. Okay, now what we have to do? We have to cross check whether what was our assumption? No slipping occurs at all surface. So I'll directly I come for F1. F1 equal to M1. What is M1 value? 2 into 2. So how much it is? 4 Newton. So what is the conclusion now? Therefore, no slipping occurs at M1, M2. Let's similarly calculate F2 equal to
F1L we got 2 newtons in the previous.
for 4, no? Here M1 is how much? 2 kg. Acceleration is how much? 2, no?
Sir, for F1 is greater than F1L.
F1L is how much? 2 Newton, no? Oh, yeah. This is I think F12 5 Newton, no? I wrote 20. Yeah, thank you for correction. Yeah, come for this now. This is, I think, greater, no? So what is the conclusion? What you are going to make it? Slipping occurs at M1, M2. Therefore, next F2 equal to M3 into A. M1, M2 values. M3 4 kg, no? This one. M3 is, this will be 4 into acceleration 2, 8 Newton. This will be, I think you have to be really very careful here. So here slipping occurs at M2 and M3. Okay, is there any possibility, say like this what happened here? Is there any possibility that slipping occurs at 1, 2 and no slipping occurs at 2, 3? Can be no. So there are, I think, how many things are there? First, no slipping occurs at all surface. So the idea of, so what was the assumption? No slipping occurs at all surface. In fact, slipping occurs at all surface. What we got it. So therefore, this will be wrong, or what we assumed is right or wrong now. It's a wrong. So what is the next option possible? So is it possible that, so one more, just cross check. So this is second thing. Second assumption. What is the second assumption I'll do? Slipping. I think I need not to go for other thing, no? So directly straight away I got this. So is there any necessity of going for other assumption? If you want to try it, slipping occurs at 1, but no slipping occurs at 2 and 3. Verify it. Again there, if you get F12, then finally you can come back to the same situation. So one more thing, I'm not sure what will happen. Slipping occurs at 192 and no slipping at M1, M2, and no slipping occurs at M2 and M3. This is what assumption. Huh? And what is the year we have started? What is the assumption? What is the assumption? No slipping occurs at blocks. What happened to your assumption? Assumption is wrong, no? Conclusion? Assumption is wrong. I started one more second assumption. What is the second assumption? What is the second assumption? Slipping occurs at M1 and no slipping occurs at M2 and M3. Let's check whether I am right again here. M1. So you have quite independent for you to assume whatever you want, but you have to cross check. So here slipping occurs. So therefore I'm writing F1L, F1L. No slipping occurs, F2 and F2. So F1L, so we know F1L is equal to how much? 2 Newton. So here acceleration F1L equal to M1 A1. So acceleration of this block will be A1. And these two blocks, they'll move together with common acceleration A23. So what is F1? So F1L is 2 Newton. M1 is how much? 2 kg. So therefore acceleration A1 is equal to how much? 1 meter per second square. Now I assume like this. Either I'm right or wrong, I'm going to cross check myself. Either I'm right or wrong, I'm going to cross check it. So what was the applied force? 18 Newton. Then what is A23? A23 should be called, the F2 will become internal. F minus F1L M2 plus M3. 18 F1L2 M2 plus M3. 4, 3 plus 4. M2 3, that is 4. Okay, 18 minus 2 will be 16, 16 by 7. Let me check the value of F2. So what is F2? F2 equal to M3 into A23. M3 is how much? 4 into 16 by 7. Anybody value?
The 9.1.
9.1.
9.1 Newton, which is greater than F2L, no? So therefore, what you can assume here, slipping occurs at M1, M2 and no slipping occurs at M2 and M3. What we got, it is, what is F2L value? 5 Newton, no? We got greater than 5 Newton. So what is the conclusion we can make it? This second assumption also wrong. Assumption, conclusion. Assumption is wrong. So tell me, like, finally, what you are going to conclude. Slipping occurs at all surface. Got the idea? This is, so what you assume, cross check with friction. So shall I tell you one thing? It's all about, first, whenever you get a block upon a block, first what you should calculate, the limiting friction you calculate. Once you get limiting friction, then what you want to assume, you just assume it. But don't assume that M1 will move towards left, M1 will move towards left, M2 will move up. Something practically possible things what you have to assume. I think that you need common sense. Got this? So the same problem I just shown for different cases. No slipping, whereas slipping occurs. Means like a, now I want a situation where M1, M2 slipping occurs, M2, M3 no slipping occurs. Yes, you can assume some 8 Newton and check it. I'll give the numerical. You try on your own. Okay, we'll do one thing. Shall I? Is it okay? Shall I go for next topic, or
Okay, sir.
all of you?
Yes,
So
sir.
3 blocks, can you manage? I'll give few. You try it. I'll give few problems. Try them.
Sir,
Uh,
in the previous question only, there will be another assumption. Like we could have another assumption that there will be the case which you told third, sir. Yes, sir.
what is your question?
Sir, here only there could be another assumption that there will be no slipping between M1, M2 and slipping between M2, M3.
Okay, assume that and verify it. See, what are the possibilities here? No slipping at all surfaces. No slipping between the blocks. First assumption. Second assumption, slipping occurs at all surfaces. Third assumption, slipping at 1, 2 and no slipping at 2, 3. Fourth assumption, slipping at 2, 3 but no slipping at 1, 2. So 4 ideas, 4 assumptions are there. You can verify all 4. At least in that one will be correct. So how do I can check which is right or wrong? You are going to take help of friction. All of you got the method?
Yes, sir.
Finish short. Let whatever the question, let them ask. As you just carry on with this. So many blocks, again the method is same. As number of blocks increases, you have to work out more. That's all here. 3 blocks, 4 blocks come, you have to work out more. So still, you do have questions like this also. One more will take it. Where if I apply force,